That jar of pasta sauce may display ripe tomatoes, golden olive oil, and a rustic Italian kitchen. But turn it around, and the ingredient list may reveal a very different story. Some popular sauces contain added sugar, inexpensive oils, high sodium, starches, or vague flavoring ingredients. Meanwhile, better alternatives often use simpler recipes that allow the tomatoes to carry most of the flavor. Today, we are examining 5 familiar pasta sauce brands that deserve a closer look, and 5 alternatives that may offer cleaner ingredients and stronger value for your money. Stay until the end because the final option is not technically a finished sauce, but it may be the smartest buy in the entire aisle. Before we begin, this is not a claim that any of these sauces are poisonous, dangerous, or unsafe to eat. We are simply comparing each brand using its current ingredient label, added sugar, sodium preserving, type of oil, tomato content, price, and overall value. Keep in mind that recipes and product formulas can change over time, so always check the ingredient and nutrition labels on the exact jar sold in your local store. Number 5. Bertolli Tomato and Basil. Bertolli Tomato and Basil is designed to feel like a premium Italian choice. The name, rustic label, and strong association with olive oil can easily persuade shoppers they are buying a richer, more traditional sauce. But the front of the jar tells only part of the story. The ingredient label deserves a closer look for added sweeteners, thickeners, the oils used, and how prominently olive oil actually appears in the formula. The presence of olive oil may sound impressive, but that does not automatically make it a major part of the sauce. What matters is the full ingredient list and whether the overall recipe justifies the higher price. So, ask yourself, are you paying for stronger ingredients, or mainly for premium-looking packaging? The next sauce costs much less, but its low price may bring another compromise. Number 4. Hunt's Traditional Pasta Sauce. Hunt's Traditional Pasta Sauce is among the more affordable options in the aisle, making it appealing to shoppers on a strict grocery budget. Depending on the variety, its ingredient list may also look fairly straightforward beside more heavily formulated sauces. Still, price should not be the only consideration. Check the label for added sugar, sodium preserving, tomato concentration, and whether the texture seems rich enough to coat pasta properly. A cheaper sauce may save some money, but it can also deliver thinner consistency and more basic tomato flavor. Hunt's may be a practical choice when every dollar matters. However, spending slightly more could deliver a sauce with better texture, deeper flavor, and stronger overall value. Number 3. Classico Tomato and Basil. Classico Tomato and Basil comes in an attractive glass jar with traditional Italian-style branding, giving it a more premium look than many budget sauces. But elegant packaging does not automatically guarantee a simpler or better formula. Before buying, turn the jar around and check for added sugar, natural flavoring, acidity regulators, and sodium preserving. Citric acid is commonly used to manage acidity and support preservation, so its presence does not mean the tomatoes are poor quality. Still, some shoppers may prefer a sauce that delivers enjoyable flavor with fewer added ingredients. The lesson is simple. Judge the sauce by what is inside the jar, not by how traditional the packaging appears. Number 2. Ragu Old World Style Traditional. Ragu Old World Style Traditional is familiar, affordable, and easy to find. For many shoppers, that familiarity makes it an automatic choice, but a famous label does not always deliver the best value. Depending on the variety, the formula may combine tomato puree with added sugar, oil, salt, and seasonings. None of these ingredients automatically makes the sauce unsafe, but together they can affect sweetness, richness, sodium levels, and overall tomato flavor. Before placing the jar in your cart, compare the ingredient order and nutrition panel with other sauces at a similar price. Consider how much tomato you receive, whether sugar and oil have been added, and how much sodium appears in each serving. A familiar brand is not automatically the smartest purchase. Better value comes from a sauce that offers the strongest balance of tomato flavor, simple ingredients, reasonable sodium, and price. Number 1. Prego Traditional. Prego Traditional is one of the most recognizable sauces in the aisle. Its familiar taste, wide availability, and convenient pour-and-serve format have made it a regular choice in many homes. But popularity does not always mean the recipe is simplest. Depending on the current formula, shoppers may find added sugar, relatively high sodium, thickening ingredients, or broadly described natural flavors. These ingredients do not make the sauce unsafe, but they can influence how sweet, salty, and processed the final product tastes. Before buying, compare the serving size and ingredient order with nearby sauces. A jar may seem affordable until you notice how much sugar or sodium is packed into a realistic portion. Prego may be popular because it is familiar, sweet, widely available, and easy to use, but shoppers seeking a simpler tomato sauce may find stronger options elsewhere. Those 5 sauces are not automatically dangerous or unsafe, but their ingredient labels may not fully match the wholesome image presented across the front of the jar. Now, let's turn to 5 alternatives that may offer simpler recipes, clearer ingredients, better tomato flavor, and stronger value for your money. Better option 5. Store-brand marinara with no added sugar. A better sauce does not always require a premium price. Many supermarkets now offer store-brand marinara sauces that use straightforward ingredients and cost less than famous national brands. Start by checking whether tomatoes appear first on the ingredient list. Then choose a variety with no added sugar, no soybean oil, lower sodium, and a short list of recognizable ingredients such as onions, garlic, herbs, salt, and olive oil. Store brands vary, so compare labels carefully rather than assuming every budget option is the same. A simple no-added sugar marinara can deliver solid tomato flavor and good value without forcing you to pay premium brand prices. Better option 4. Newman's Own Marinara. Newman's Own Marinara is a widely available, middle-priced alternative for shoppers wanting something more balanced without moving into the most expensive part of the aisle. The ingredient list is generally built around a straightforward tomato base with familiar seasonings such as onions, garlic, herbs, and spices. Still, do not assume every jar is identical. Different Newman's Own varieties may contain different amounts of added sugar, oil, sodium, and flavoring ingredients. Check the exact label before buying and compare serving size, sodium, added sugar, and type of oil with nearby brands. For many shoppers, Newman's Own can offer a practical middle ground between low-cost sauces and premium options. Better option 3. Muir Glen Organic Tomato Basil. Muir Glen Organic Tomato Basil is a solid middle-priced option for shoppers who prefer an organic tomato base and a relatively simple ingredient list. Its appeal comes less from flashy packaging and more from recognizable ingredients that are easy to understand. Organic does not automatically mean healthier, and it should not be your only reason for choosing a sauce. What matters is whether the recipe matches your preferences for added sugar, sodium, oils, and overall simplicity. For shoppers wanting clearer labeling, familiar ingredients, and a stronger tomato-focused formula without paying top-tier prices, Muir Glen can be a practical choice. Better option 2. Ragu's Homemade Marinara. Ragu's Homemade Marinara sits at the premium end of the pasta sauce aisle, but its appeal comes from more than an expensive-looking jar. Certain varieties use a relatively short ingredient list featuring tomatoes, olive oil, onions, garlic, herbs, and seasonings without added sugar. That simpler formula allows the tomato flavor, olive oil, and herbs to shine rather than relying heavily on sweeteners or thickening ingredients. Still, Ragu's price can be difficult to justify for shoppers managing a tight grocery budget. It may not be the right everyday choice for every household. However, shoppers who pay more are generally paying for a simpler recipe and richer flavor, not merely decorative packaging or premium branding. Better option 1. Quality canned tomatoes. The strongest value in the aisle may not be a finished pasta sauce at all. A can of quality whole peeled or crushed tomatoes gives you a simple base and greater control over what reaches your plate. Sauté garlic gently in olive oil, add the tomatoes, season with salt and herbs, then let everything simmer for 15 to 20 minutes until the sauce thickens and the flavors blend together. You control the sugar, sodium, seasoning, thickness, and final cost, and the tomatoes remain at the center of the sauce. When shopping for San Marzano tomatoes, do not rely on the name alone. Check the stated country of origin, ingredient list, and any certification on the label because not every can using San Marzano wording is necessarily the same. Remember, the goal is not to find a perfect jar or fear every unfamiliar ingredient. The goal is to understand what you are buying, compare similar products fairly, and choose the sauce that best fits your taste, budget, and household needs. A quick label check can make that decision much easier each week. Here is the simplest rule to remember on your next grocery trip. Ignore the Italian scenery on the jar's front for 10 seconds and turn it around. Look for tomatoes near the top of the ingredient list, little or no added sugar, reasonable sodium, recognizable seasonings, and a formula that does not depend heavily on extra ingredients merely to create sweetness or thickness. Which pasta sauce is sitting in your kitchen? And would you keep buying it after reading the label? Tell us in the comments. Subscribe to Quick Frugal for more honest grocery comparisons that help you shop smarter, waste less, and save more.